Hello once again, this is K.E. Robinson. I'm here for all the literature lovers and all the word warriors. We are coming in for the third installment of the Robinson Road reading. I repeat, the third installment. That means if this is your first time joining us, I appreciate it. I thank you. But there's two more of these that you have to catch up on. It's going to be right here on YouTube, so that's not going to really be a problem. Just click in the subscription, go into the link, and you'll find it, and subscribe to catch up with this story. However, if you are here listening for the first time or even the third time with us, you're about to hear the conclusion of chapter 1. I repeat, the conclusion of chapter 1 of Crescent Moons. Crescent Moons, my debut title. It is there on Amazon and also in Kindle format on Amazon, available to you paperback or Kindle format. All right. So we're going to pick up kind of where we left off when we were last reading this book. Frank and his partner seem to be trying to get the best of the wild gunman who was around them. So let's go ahead and let's try to finish off and see what happens next. As mentioned before, this story is in the Kindle format. This is an example of it here on my tablet. This is where I'll be reading it to you guys from as we come to the conclusion of chapter 1. That's just on my page. I don't know why I did that, but we're going to ignore that yellow line for right now. We're actually reading below it. What we will find here, just for the sake of context, once again, I'm going to back up a little bit into where we last read, and then I'm going to pick up from there and read forward. So for those of you who've heard this part, just kind of bear with me. I'm not going to dig too far back. Just going to dig back just far enough to draw some context. So here we go. This will be another epic story we'll tell, I muttered to myself. What was that? You got something to say, Sideshow Bob? Inquired the antagonist. At this point, Frank had broken the restraints and darted toward the bad guy. Actually, I do. Show's over, I exclaimed. Frank's forward momentum hurled the chair across the floor as he tracked the adversary. The gunman turned his attention to Frank, who was within 3 feet of him. Frank was closing in for another fantastic finish. Then, the bastard raised his gun to Frank's chest to create some separation between them. Frank now had him within his grasp and was ready to capitalize on his extended rest. Frank landed a powerful punch that took the gunman off balance. However, the blow Frank landed created too much distance between he and the henchman. It provided enough time to turn the tables. The guy stumbled a bit but came back up on target as he aimed once more at Frank's chest. Frank started to close the gap as best he could, but in the current delayed state, it may not have been fast enough. Bang! 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 Went the firearm. Down goes Tatiano, slowly, falling for what seemed like an eternity, forever. Da-doom! That's how his carcass graced the canvas. I hoped those 3 shots wouldn't faze him. It was all a temporary roadblock, right? Come on, Frank. This town needs you. The bad guys will run rampant without you. You remember this city before your accident? Crime and drug-ridden, low-life infested, depleted city. A sportsman or tourist's paradise, but a homeowner's nightmare. The hitman now points the gun in my direction and starts yammering, but everything I hear is muffled. My best friend is on the floor, bleeding and likely without a pulse. The hell with the rest of the world right now. The one guy who had given this city hope laid hopelessly upon the floor, motionless, shiftless, possibly even dead. You going deaf over there? Yeah, forget it. I'll come back for you, yells the gunman. He then turns to exit the room, the same way this town's chance of prosperity had when Fantastic Frank hit that carpet. Hey! I screamed to the gunman. Yes, boss, he answered sarcastically. Do you have any further requests before I leave you and your friend alone here? He jeered. Yeah, jerk. How about you clean this shit up? I stated. Sure thing, boss. We'll get right on it, he returned. I then removed my restraints and walked over to Frank. I peered him over, wondering if things would ever be the same without him. I checked his pulse. Nothing. No chance he would get up. No chance of him saving the day. Nothing. Nothing else in my way. I do not believe I have properly introduced myself. I'm Detective Ronaldo Brown, but you can call me the Brown Recluse. I stood up his last load. The gunman picked Frank's body up from the carpet and took it to an undisclosed location in the building. You see, Frank had done most of the work the CCPD needed him to do, but now there were fewer super threats left. So many officers were losing jobs due to his great ability to put a nip in the bud of crime. He worked so closely with me that he never suspected a thing, which is why I provided the intel on the recluse. Besides, only a master detective such as myself could truly provide that type of insight. Things were going unusually well for the citizens of Crescent City. So well, they forgot about the men and women who put their lives on the line to make it possible. People in general always wanted something for nothing, but this time they had become spoiled by their own proclaimed savior. It was time to restore the order of the Crescent, the type of order where the residents were in fear and the bad guys were confident. That's the vital environment to regain our job security. Yeah, Easy Street was good for a little while, until we saw the tax attached was far greater than the reward. A return to normalcy was in demand, no matter the strife and destruction it may potentially cause. Many places we may go, some places we never leave. Oh, what a tangled web we'll weave. I know. You guys never saw it coming. That's the way I planned it. I know. I was a little sad about it myself after I wrote it the first time. The big hero dies. It's unfortunate. And I know for those of you who haven't read it, it may seem like a spoiler, but coming closer. It's not a spoiler. Simply a warning. This is where the story just begins. This is only a tip of the iceberg. This is the moment where you purchase the book for yourself and you see what happens moving forward, because this is not where the story ends. Thank you all for joining me. You'll hear from me again soon. I hope in the meantime, you go get the book for yourself. Crescent Moons, K.E. Robinson, Amazon.